I think that the scenario for a fresh start is going to look different in different situations. For us, we're an ethnic church, Chinese church, 3 congregations, Mandarin, Cantonese, English. We had wanted for years to plant a church and prayed for it, but we just never got around to doing it. Didn't seem to know how to do it. Our district superintendent came to us with a vision that made a lot of sense to us to help a church that was struggling. It would involve sending some of our leaders and some of our people over to that church. It also involved bringing the remaining people in that church that was struggling into our church for about 8 months or so before the Fresh Start occurred. So they came and joined us for a while, and we worshiped together. We got to know them. One of our pastors that became the leader of the Fresh Start, 3 of our elders went with him, and about 35 people from our church went. So it was a pretty significant portion of our church that went out.
I pastored the Grove Church, and for the Grove, it wasn't exactly like, I think it might be in other places when you have Fresh Start Church. One of the things that we did, we've always wanted to help other churches. And so we never wanted to have a video church or other little churches called the Grove. We just like to help other churches. Until our district superintendent, Bill, came along, we were just doing it. We were sort of winging it. Bill had a plan, and so when we met with Redlands Church, it was a plan, it was thought out, it was well conceived, which was good for us. We like plans. What really helped us is we were connected to the pastor. So the pastor there was a part of our church in the past. We knew him well. Our people at our church knew him well. That's a big advantage, I think, when you're trying to send people to another church to help out. But really, what happened in our church, our people embraced that. Many of them went to be with the Redlands Church, still there, enjoying it, and it's good for them, it's good for us.
I think that an established church can help a Fresh Start church in a lot of ways. In our case, we sent over some really good leaders, seasoned leaders, good people. And they were able to go in there with a lot of experience that they had from being with us, and they were able to just start doing ministry immediately. They were able to take our bylaws and adapt them for the new church. They were able to take our policies and procedures. And in the same way, we have communication. We stay in touch with one another. I get together with the pastor of the Fresh Start Church, and we're in touch with the elders and other leaders there. So as problems have arisen for them or they've had questions, we've been able to be part of it. We haven't tried to tell them what to do, but we've been there as a resource for them throughout.
I think some of the advantages of a Fresh Start church having a partner church are much like what Dave talked about. What we did is we sent people there. We told them they could go. We released them. And so we told them about the church in Redlands, which was about 25 minutes from the Grove. If you want to go there, you know the pastor, as I said before. This is what they're trying to do. This is what their goals and their vision. And so a lot of our people in a large church, they don't have that small church connection that they got at Redlands, which was really good for them. And so there's a different dynamic for a lot of our people who really did more ministry there than they ever did at the Grove. And so I think it's a benefit for them and us both. It was a good thing to have us there, and but they were their own entity also. We didn't smother them. We came in when they needed us, and we gave advice and tried to help. But it's a partnership, so that was fun. It was really good for us. I think our church benefited from knowing there's a church that's healthy in Redlands, where at one time it needed some help. And so being a partner church made a church grow to a place where now they're very healthy and will be for a long time. There is the cost of people who are givers, and we had some very significant givers go. We lost talent in our church, which, once you have certain talented people, you want to keep them. You sort of rely on them and count on them. They're seasoned. But as we've let people go in the last year and begin to develop in both these two churches, we've grown. We've had our best giving year in the history of the Grove. And so as people have left and God has taken them, and you sort of count the cost of doing that, what's it going to cost us? In your mind, I think you say this will be negative for you. But for us, I think there's a very positive vibe in our church that we've helped 2 other churches. Some of our people feel very connected there now and doing ministry. And so we've received more people at our church than have gone. So God's been very faithful, and to us it's a good thing. And we look forward to doing it again.
I think that for us, it's been a very beneficial experience. I think that, as I said, there are costs to it, but the greatest benefit, I think, to our church probably is just the fact that it's a reminder to us to be kingdom-minded. You know, when you give away, you give people, you send people to the mission field, or you give people to go and start a new work, or to be part of a fresh start. As you pay that price, you're reminded that this is what the kingdom is about. We're supposed to be reaching out. We're supposed to be growing. We're supposed to be reaching new people. I think that the entire experience helps us to have a bigger sense of what God is doing in the world.